everybody, 60 with Homie. Today we're going to talk about the hips and what they really should be able to do, and what happens when you sit all day is that stuff doesn't happen anymore. So really quick, if I just pick up my leg in front of the camera and I bend it to 90 degrees internally, right, moving the foot outwards gets me an internal rotation. I should have about 45 degrees inside the hip, and you can see I'm missing some of it. So my hip tends to start plopping up right around 30 degrees. It's not that bad. Most people are missing almost all of it. But now when I try and go to external rotation, right, the hip coming up, sorry, the foot, that's a foot, coming up, I should have 90 degrees here without the hip moving. And I've got a pretty good amount. But on this side, right, if I test the same thing, internally I'm stuck, externally I'm pretty stuck. So as you can see, I've been doing some stuff to clean this side up, but I wanted to show you on this side. So the first thing, classic little yoga stretch, is called Pigeon. And what you do is you get that knee 90 degrees, the hip on the ground, and the back leg is gonna go as far behind you as you can. And then you bend forward. Now, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but my back is not happy with this. It can't turn into this pelvic position without my butt coming up off the ground. I'm just that locked up and tight on this side. So there's a couple things you can do with Pigeon. You can either decrease the bend in the knee and sheet a little bit into this, but it's not as good as stretch. Or the reason I have this physio table behind me is that you can do a high box Pigeon stretch, and it's much easier if you've been doing squats all day yesterday like I have, and this butt's really tight. So I'm going to change the camera angle and show you the easier version of this. So I've got basically the same Pigeon position as far as the femur down is concerned. The knee's at 90 degrees, the foot's on the table. My left butt in this case is on the table, but my right butt is not. Now what I'm going to try and do is do the same thing I was doing on the floor, but my hips were too tight to get into that externally rotated position. Now I can get my pelvis in a good carry and then tip forward. And now that stretch is beautiful. And my back is nice and happy, turned nice and neutral to the ground. So 30 seconds to 45 seconds on this is plenty for most people if you're really trying to go super deep on a recovery day because you're a power lifter or a bodybuilder or just somebody that loves to do heavy squats. Up to 2 minutes is okay on this. Just realize if you do 2 minutes on a stretch like this, it's very deep. You're not going to be able to do much that day. But if it's your recovery day, you're fine, right? So the last thing I want to say on this is if you're a desk flyer or somebody that likes to sit a lot and watch TV on the couch, the idea is if you're not using it, you're losing it, right? Sitting is catabolic for the glutes. You're just going to completely just cut off all the blood supply to that butt because you're putting pressure directly on it. And it's honestly just going to start turning off on you a little bit at a time. I know some people say it never turns off, but to be honest, it's going to make you quad dominant, it's going to make you overextend in your back, and it's just going to make life worse, all right? Try this stretch out. It's working beautifully for me. I'm going to show you a before and after I've done this in a couple seconds, but in the meantime, I hope that information was very helpful to you guys. Have a happy and healthy rest of your day, and let's check out this new external rotation. I got about another 25 degrees on what I had before, and actually even helped improve my internal. So I'll talk to you guys later.